Hello subscribers and friends of subscribers to the channel. Welcome to Lesson 2 in our series on phonics for adults. Today we are going to cover vowels. Here is the contents of today's lesson. 1. Vowels. We are going to look at a few definitions of vowels. 2. Long vowel sounds. There are some rules that will help you identify when a vowel makes its long sound. 3. Short vowel sounds. There is one main rule that helps you identify when a vowel makes its short vowel sound. 4. Exceptions. We will look at some exceptions to the above rules. First, what are vowels? There are two definitions and they kind of overlap. Definition 1, they are sounds. Definition 2, they are letters. When you are in class and your teacher asks you to name the vowels, he or she wants you to say A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. That is the correct answer that matches definition 2. But those are the names of the letters. The sounds are also called vowels. Anyway, to keep these lessons clear and easy to follow, I will try my best to refer to the sounds as vowel sounds and the letters A, E, I, O, U as vowel letters. So to sum up, vowel letters are the symbols you see in writing that represent the vowel sounds that you hear. In other words, you read and write vowel letters, but you hear and say vowel sounds. And the letters represent the sounds. Let's talk a little bit about the vowel sounds. What are they? They are the key sounds made in words. Vowel sounds can be made louder. You can change the tone. And vowel sounds can be sung. You can yell a vowel sound. Imagine you are on a mountain and you yell to your friend, "Stay back, I see a grizzly." Now, if you are very close, your friend might be able to hear the whole warning. If he is very far away, he might only be able to catch the vowel sounds, like this: A, I, E, I. This is because you can say the A sound, for example, much louder than you can say the S sound. Next, try changing the tone of the A sound. A. You can vary the tone because A is a vowel sound. Try that with the T sound. T, t, t. You cannot vary the tone because T is a consonant sound. Let's try it with another vowel, the O sound. O. This one is possible. Try it with the S sound. S. This one is not possible. We can make the S sound longer or shorter, but we can't change the tone. The next concept is that vowels typically make two sounds each, the short sound and the long sound. I think most teachers start with the short sound. I will start with the long sound because 1, I am different, and 2, I think the long sound is easier in some ways. Now, let's look at a list of the vowel letters. The long sound for the letter A is A. Notice the straight line over the A? That line is there for learning purposes only. It makes a distinction between the two basic vowel sounds that each letter makes. Whenever you see a vowel letter with this straight line on top, you know that it represents the long sound. That should make you feel a little bit of relief in the early stages. Let's continue. The long sound for the letter A is A. The long sound for the letter E is E. The long sound for the letter I is I. The long sound for the letter O is O. The long sound for the letter U is oo or U. Now, learning is a combination of two things, noticing and remembering. So at this point, I need you to notice that the long vowel sounds of the vowel letters match the vowel names. So the vowel letters are A, E, I, O, and U, and their long vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, and oo or U. What really stands out is that the vowel letter U has two long vowel sounds, oo and U. What is up with that? Okay, let me explain. First, my notation, letter Y plus the letter U is non-standard. I don't believe any of your other teachers or tutors make a distinction between oo and U. If you show this video to your teacher, you can fully expect to see some head shaking or at least some head tilting. Having said that, I doubt any of your other teachers or tutors would recognize yay, ye, yai, or yo as vowel sounds. And yet, they might recognize you as a vowel sound. Next, if you ask your other teachers or tutors if the vowel sound in these two words is the same, you should get, at the bare minimum, a thoughtful pause. If they answer too quickly, just ask if they hear a Y sound in the word cube. On a side note, this is one difference between American English and British English. An American speaker will not try to pronounce tube with the Y sound. A British speaker, however, will try to say tube rather than tube. In future lessons, we are going to cover some of these features again and again through practice. So right now is not the time to try to commit things to memory. Just notice the differences, grasp the concept, and relax. There is no need for stress at this point. Okay, so now you know that the long vowel sounds are the same as the letter names. For example, the letter A makes the A sound. Next, we need to know the 3 rules for the long vowel sounds. Let's start with rule 1. First, just repeat after me. Baby, below, fiber, robot, duty. Okay, here is rule 1. If a vowel sound is the last sound of the syllable, the vowel sound is the long sound. Okay, we need to talk about syllables. A syllable is a unit of a word with one vowel sound. baby has two separate vowel sounds, the A in bay and the E in bee. Bay, bee. So the two syllables are bay and bee. Let me repeat the rule. If the vowel is the last sound of the syllable, the vowel is the long sound. Let's look at the 5 examples. The first syllable in baby ends with the letter A, so it takes the long A sound, baby. The first syllable in below ends with the letter E, so it takes the long E sound, below. The first syllable in fiber ends with the letter I, so it takes a long I sound, fiber. The first syllable in robot ends with the letter O, so it takes the long O sound, robot. The first syllable in duty ends with the letter U, so it takes the long oo sound, duty. Some British speakers might try to make a U sound after a D, saying duty. For me, that would take a bit of practice, so I just say duty. Next, let's look at Rule 2. First, just repeat these words after me. Bake, theme, fine, loan, cute. These rules follow Rule 2. Here is the rule. If the syllable ends with a silent E, the vowel makes the long sound. Some teachers call this the magic E. Bake is spelled B-A-K-E. Because there is an E after the K, the A in bake takes the long A sound. Theme is spelled T-H-E-M-E. Because there is a silent E after the M, the first E in theme takes the long E sound. Fine is spelled F-I-N-E. Because there is a silent E after the N, the I in fine takes the long I sound. Loan is spelled L-O-N-E. Because there is a silent E after the N, the O in loan takes the long O sound. This spelling of loan means without others. Some animals hunt in groups. Other animals are lone hunters. Cute is spelled C-U-T-E. Because there is a silent E after the T, the U in cute takes the long U sound. Next, let's look at Rule 3. First, just repeat these words after me. Bail, meal, pies, loan, suit. These words follow Rule 3. Here is the rule. When two vowels appear side by side, the first one takes the long sound and the second one is silent. You will hear some teachers say, when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. What your teachers mean is that the first vowel takes the long sound or is pronounced the same as its letter name. Bail is spelled B-A-I-L. Because the A and I are both vowels, the second vowel, I, is silent, and the first vowel, A, takes the long A sound. Bail. Meal is spelled M-E-A-L. Because E and A are both vowels, the second vowel, A, is silent, and the first vowel, E, takes the long E sound. Meal. Pies is spelled P-I-E-S. Because I and E are both vowels, the second vowel, E, is silent, and the first vowel, I, takes the long I sound. Pies. Loan is spelled L-O-A-N. Because O and A are both vowels, the second vowel, A, is silent, and the first vowel, O, takes the long O sound. This spelling of the word loan refers to something that is borrowed and needs to be returned or paid back. Some people get a loan from the bank in order to buy a house. Suit is spelled S-U-I-T. Because U and I are both vowels, the second vowel, I, is silent, and the first vowel, U, takes the long oo sound. Suit. Right. I am going to be very frank with you. Rule 3 is the tricky rule. Rules 1 and 2 are very straightforward, but Rule 3 has lots of exceptions. That's the bad news. The good news is that we know about this obstacle in advance, and we are going to deal with it. As we go through this program, you will increase your confidence in regards to exceptions. Next, let's look at short vowel sounds. Okay, I said that vowels typically have two different sounds, the long sound and the short sound. Now it is time to talk about the short sound. The short sound for the letter A is A. The short sound for the letter E is E. The short sound for the letter I is I. The short sound for the letter O is A. The short sound for the letter U is A. Let's look at some sample words. Repeat after me. Bat, red, pin, dog, cup. The rule for short sounds is this. If a vowel letter in a syllable is followed by a consonant, it takes the short vowel sound. In the first example, bat, we can see that the A is followed by the T. So the A takes the short A sound. We also see that there is no E after the T. Bat. Red is spelled R-E-D. Because the vowel letter E is followed by the consonant D, the E takes a short E sound. Red. Pin is spelled P-I-N. Because the vowel letter I is followed by the consonant N, the I takes the short I sound. Pin. Dog is spelled D-O-G. Because the vowel letter O is followed by the consonant G, the O takes a short ah sound. Dog. Cup is spelled C-U-P. Because the vowel letter U is followed by the consonant P, the U takes a short sound. Cup. Perhaps the hard part about short vowel sounds is that they don't match the names of the letters. The long sound for the letter A is A. That is easy. The short sound for the letter A is A. That is a bit harder, at least at first. With practice, this should become easier. But right now, the easy part is that there is only one rule for short vowel sounds. Remember that long vowel sounds have 3 rules. Short vowel sounds have only 1. Let's practice long and short vowel sounds together. We will start with the vowel letter A. Repeat after me. A, ace, age, aid, ape, ale, as, at, act, add, ash. Next is the vowel letter E. Repeat after me. E, eat, east, each, eel, eve, x, egg, end, ebb, ed. If you are wondering what the word ebb means, it is the opposite of flow. The ocean's tides come in and go out. This is called the ebb and flow. X is short for ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, and Ed is a boy's name. Let's move on to the vowel letter I. Repeat after me. I, ice, icon, idea, ideal, ivy, in, is, it, if, ill. Let's look at the vowel letter O. Repeat after me. O, O, oak, oats, oath, open, on, off, odd, ox, otter. The first word in the top row, O, O-W-E, is used when you owe somebody money or owe somebody a favor. Finally, let's look at the vowel letter U. Repeat after me. Oo, U, use, unit, utility, unique, uniform, up, us, upset, under, uncle. Next, did you notice that some of the words have the same consonant repeated? For example, the word add is spelled A-D-D. There are two things you will notice the more you see repeated consonants. First, in English, the consonant is only pronounced once. So, looking at the word add, it is pronounced add, not added. Good? Second, in longer words where you are not sure where one syllable ends and the next begins, the repeated consonants indicate that the vowel that comes before them is the short sound. Writer has one T, so we say writer, writer, with a long sound. Written has two T's, so we say written, written, with a short sound. Now, if English only had long and short vowel sounds, this is where I would just sum up the lesson. But I need to talk about exceptions a little bit first. I am going to read a list of words with the vowel A, and I want you to do two things. One, repeat after me, and two, notice the pronunciation of the vowel letter A. Repeat after me. Hat, cake, idea, talk, image, any. The first two vowel sounds match what we have covered today. The A in hat matches the rule for the short A sound, and thus takes the short A sound. The A in cake matches rule 2 for the long A sound, and thus takes the long A sound. The third word, idea, uses the broad sound for the letter A. The broad sound for the letter A, or sounds like a short U sound, or Its symbol for learners is the letter A with two little dots. The fourth word is talk. It is the vowel A, but its pronunciation is different. It sounds like a short O, or ah. The fifth word is image. The A in image sounds like a short I sound, or I. The sixth word is any. The A in any sounds like the short E sound, or eh. The symbols I am using for the examples in 4, 5, and 6 are non-standard. In 4, I chose the symbol with the circle over it because this A makes the short O sound, and the letter O looks like a circle. In 5, I chose the A with the dot over it because it makes the short I sound, and the letter I has a dot over it. For 6, I was just out of options, and this exception is pretty rare in terms of number of words. Let's continue with the vowel E. Repeat after me and try to notice the pronunciation of the vowel E. Bet, these, enemy, pretty. The E in bet matches the rule for the short E sound, and thus takes the short E sound, bet. Number 2, the first E in these matches rule 2 for the long E sound, and thus takes the long E sound, these. Number 3, the second E in enemy is a little different. It sounds like a short U, or enemy, enemy, enemy. The symbol I am using, the E with the 2 dots, is non-standard. My hope is that you will notice that both the E in enemy and the A in idea have the same sound, and both have similar symbols. They both have 2 little dots over the vowel letter. Number 4. The E in pretty sounds like a short I or I. The symbol I am using, an E with 1 dot, is non-standard. Maybe you notice that the lowercase I has a dot, and this symbol sounds like a short I and also has a dot. Let's continue with the vowel letter I. Repeat after me. Middle, myth, smile, cry, taxi, happy. You might be thinking that the letter I is easy because it only has 3 variants: I, and E. Here's the weird part. The letter Y can also make these 3 sounds. Have you heard teachers list off the vowels as A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y? Yeah, the letter Y acts as a consonant sometimes, but other times it makes the same vowel sounds as the letter I. Number 1, the I in middle matches the rule for the short I sound and thus takes the short I sound. Middle. The Y in myth is a vowel, and it also matches the rule for the short I sound. Myth. Number 2, the I in smile matches rule 2 for the long I sound, and thus takes the long I sound. Smile. The Y in cry is a vowel, and it matches rule 1 for the long I sound. Cry. Number 3, the I in taxi takes a long E sound. The symbol I am using is an I with an acute accent instead of a dot. This symbol is non-standard, so you likely won't see it from your other teachers. Taxi. The Y in happy is also a vowel, and it also sounds like a long E sound. Happy. Let's continue with the letter O. Repeat after me and try to notice the pronunciation of the vowel O in these words. Sock, bone, come, move, woman. The O in sock matches the rule for the short O sound and thus takes the short O sound. Sock. Number 2, the O in bone matches rule 2 for the long O sound and thus takes the long O sound. Bone. The next 3 are exceptions, but are also quite common in English. The symbols I am using, however, for numbers 3 and 4 are non-standard. Number 3, the O in come sounds like the A in idea, the second E in enemy, and the U in but. Like the non-standard A and E, this symbol is an O with 2 dots. Come. Number 4, the O in move sounds like the long U in tube. The symbol I am using is the letter O with a diagonal line through it. This is non-standard. Move. Number 5. The O in woman sounds like the U in put. This symbol is standard. Notice how it looks like an O and a U. An O with an opening in the top or a really round U. I need to use this symbol to express this sound for both the letter O and the letter U. Let's continue with the letter U. Repeat after me, and try to notice the pronunciation of the vowel U in the following words. But, tube, cube, bush, busy. Number 1. The U in but matches the rule for the short U sound and thus takes the short U sound. But. Number 2. The U in tube matches the rule for the long U sound and thus takes the long U sound. Tube. Number 3. The U in cube matches the rule for the long U sound and thus takes the long U sound. The difference between tube and cube is that cube takes the U version of the long sound, while tube takes the oo sound only. If I were to say tube or cube, you would notice something weird. Number 4. The word bush takes the sound. This symbol is standard, so that is good news. Bush. Number 5. Busy. This word is the weirdest. The U in busy makes the short I sound. The symbol I am using is a U with one dot. Maybe you notice that the lowercase I has a dot, and this symbol sounds like a short I. Now let's look at the vowels that share the same sounds. Repeat after me. Idea, enemy, come, but. All of the words have a vowel letter that makes the short U sound, or a. The vowel letters A, E, and O also make the sound. The two dots over the letter A and the breve over the letter U are standard. The two dots over the E and the O are non-standard. I am using them in order to make things easier for you as the learner and for me as the teacher. In other words, they match the two dots over the letter A. Now let's look at a different list. Repeat after me. Any, bet. Both the A in any and the E in bet make the same short E sound, eh. In terms of number of words, this exception is pretty rare. In terms of frequency, it is pretty common if you consider how many times you use the words any, anyone, anywhere, anyway, and so on. Now let's try a different list. Repeat after me. Image, pretty. Middle, myth, busy. All of the words have a vowel letter that makes a short I sound, or I. The I with the breve is standard, but the dot over the A, E, and U are non-standard. Let's continue. Repeat after me. Talk, sock. Both of these words have a vowel letter that makes the short O sound, or ah. The breve over the O is standard. The circle over the A is non-standard. Just remember that the shape of the letter O is a circle, so this is a hint that this A makes the short O sound. Let's look at two more examples. Repeat after me. Woman, bush. The symbol I am using for the sound is standard. Let's look at these three words. Repeat after me. Move, tube, cube. All of these words have a vowel that makes the long U sound, or oo. The macron, or bar, over the U is standard. The diagonal line through the O is non-standard. If you are curious about the difference between the oo sound and the U sound, just take notice of the letter that appears before the letter U. In the case of number 2, the letter T followed by the U sound is difficult to pronounce. In the case of number 3, the K sound, K, followed by the U sound is not difficult to pronounce. Cube. Okay, so this is the end of the lesson. I am going to list off a bunch of things we discussed today. 1. Vowels, sounds and letters. We talked about vowels. We said they are sounds and letters. 2. Vowel sounds and consonant sounds. We talked about the difference between vowel sounds and consonant sounds. Vowel sounds can vary in volume and tone. 3. Vowels, short sounds and long sounds. We said that vowel letters represent two basic sounds, each, the short sound and the long sound. 4. Special symbols, macron and breve. We looked at special symbols to help learners make a distinction between the long sounds and the short sounds. The macron, or bar, over the vowel letter indicates that the letter makes the long vowel sound. The breve, or half circle, indicates that the letter makes the short vowel sound. 5. Oo and U. We talked about the vowel letter U and how its long sound can be pronounced two different ways. 6. The 3 rules for long vowel sounds. We discussed the 3 rules for reading the long vowel sounds. 7. 1 rule for short vowel sounds. We discussed the 1 rule for reading the short vowel sounds. 8. Exceptions. We took a short look at the exceptions that you are going to encounter. The vowel letter A, for instance, makes 6 different sounds. Number 9, tell your friends. I want to help you to read English, and you want to help me grow my YouTube channel. So, if you can help me get more likes and more subscribers, we will have a win-win-win relationship between us and your friends. So click like, click subscribe, write a comment, and come back for the next lesson. Bye everyone, be good.